great Larry Beyah.
Get excited. We love this guy.
One of the funniest guys.
They said you should have been on the corner selling drugs. That's what the fuck they told us.
We love this guy, man. See him on HBO. He headlines all over the planet.
Don't worry, I'll be back. Build the band.
Now let's give it up for Larry.
Said this
Beyah.
on a Woo! Yes! Oh, we back! I told you! Thank you! Oh, thank you. Let's get loud, people. We are in the house today. We have some special guests today. We have some special moments. It is Thanksgiving weekend, so we got the fellowship in here. We got some fun people in here. We're going to talk Thanksgiving. We're going to talk a lot of stuff today. But first and foremost, I want to say what's up to my co-host.
Hi, Larry.
The most wonderful person on this planet to me, Josie Dion. Yeah, Josie.
Hi, how are you guys? Happy Thanksgiving week. And
Yes.
we have a lot of special guests with us today.
A lot of special guests. Do you know them?
Yes, I do. I know Christy over here.
Yeah.
Amazing comedian, Christy Miller, and she has a Christy and JC.
Christy Unleashed
show.
with JC Best.
Yes, Christy. Yes, please say it better.
It's Christy Unleashed with JC Best
There
on
you go.
B-Box Radio.
On B-Box Radio, Christy. And now let me tell you something. This is the perfect combination. We were at your comedy show.
Right.
Well, that's where I met her.
Yeah, we
I met her at the
comedy
West
show,
Side
'cause
Comedy.
We was at West Side Comedy Club. I was on the show, the earlier show, and then they came in. It just was like a great show. I didn't even know y'all had a thing together. I'm glad y'all do, because both the energies, I
we
freaking love
match.
it.
JC and I match like, I don't know, Simon and Garfunkel.
Yeah. Y'all can both
you know who
bench
that
press
is?
each other.
No, he can't.
He can't bench press you?
No, hell no. He can barely
I
bench press
refuse
a
to believe that
pocketbook.
JC can't bench press. I know you can bench press him.
Yes.
And squat him, too.
Yes.
Can you squat him?
Yes.
Can you squat her?
Christy could fuck me. I mean, she's the man in the relationship. I don't know if you noticed that.
She really is. She's a bodybuilder, right?
Not a bodybuilder.
Powerlifter.
Powerlifter.
Powerlifter,
Oh,
sorry.
yeah.
Powerlifter.
Whole different animal.
I've seen you squat many people.
Yes.
Yes.
Yes. On stage.
Yeah, she just grabbed somebody like, I love it. Also, the headliner we got here today, I love this dude. When I tell you, I always bless the host when he's on the show or whatever like that, because I learn things. But he's just a fun dude. When I tell you, he has been on a lot of late night, and I'm telling you, that's the goal for if you're a comic, to get on late night. And he's been on there many times. Him and Stephen Colbert are friends, and we'll talk about all that later. But please put your hands together for Paul MECURIO! He's here.
Legend.
Louder. Can I just ask you something? The only thing that was missing in that opening, a video of you, was video of your mother giving birth to you. How much fucking video do you need of you? Get it? You're a comic.
Yo, and I would have had.
Hey, here I am buying ham. Like,
I would have had her in it, but it's
Did
a
anybody
one-man
see
show.
me? Clearly.
sign a waiver on her vagina.
I got an NDA. It says, yo, can you cut it after the umbilical cord? And then take me from the umbilical cord cutting on.
No, but you came out with the hat on.
Yeah, I did. It was placenta in the hat. Yeah.
Yuck.
All right. So, okay. So now, do we have a clip of Paul? Because I'm telling you, I love this dude's comedy.
He's so funny.
You're funny.
So fucking
it's
funny.
It's be weird watching myself. I'll go out there and then when it's done,
Go outside and come back.
No,
Take
stay
a walk.
right here. Stay.
Internally.
down at the
Close your eyes.
Okay.
All right.
This is
Close your
Paul
eyes.
MECURIO, people.
Biblical
Back,
court?
everybody.
Nice.
Folks,
Yeah, Paul.
my next guest is a comedian, a dear friend, and a host of the Paul MECURIO podcast. Please welcome back to The Late Show, Paul MECURIO. Thanks. I have a kid, and some parents out there may relate to this. When my wife was pregnant, we noticed that people get into your personal business about how you're going to raise your kid. Like, we didn't want to know the sex of the baby. We wanted to be surprised. And we would tell people, and they're like, what are you, crazy? You're going to know the sex of the baby. You're going to get the baby's room ready. I'm like, what are you talking about? Oh, yeah, it's got to be pink if it's a girl and blue if it's a boy. The room. We live in a studio apartment. The room's ready. You want to see the baby's room? We're in the baby's room. I decorated it with a balloon.
All right, so that's Paul MECURIO. Give it up for Paul. Give it up for Paul.
Well, it's great to be here. I got to go.
We're gonna be seeing more Paul's clips, and the reason I invited some of the some people in the audience today, I know that they're younger comedians or whatever. I just think that there's always a synergy when you can get with people and see them when they're not on stage, and like you maybe ask them questions or talk to them about the process, because we all know that the process is to get to late night or get a special or whatever like that. So I want some of the young people to get to know Paul today. But we're going to go around the room and introduce people coming in. First and foremost, I just want to say, because it's Thanksgiving weekend, but happy birthday to my boy Legend. Happy birthday to my boy Legend coming in.
You stole my sound.
Give it up, Legend. Happy birthday. We're trying to plan something and everything like that, but Legend got in the way.
What I did, I got in the way?
Don't worry about it. We're going to make him feel special and everything like that. We got cards and everything like that. Don't worry about it. But happy birthday. He's one of my best friends. Happy birthday, Legend, man.
Just turned 21.
Just turned 21.
21.
Love it, man. We got Legend. Also, we have the person, when I was away in Vegas, we have the person who stood in for me and stood in the gap better than, I feel sometimes better than I was in the gap. Put your hands together for Rahj Mason.
Yeah,
Rahj held it down for 3 weeks while I was gone, and it was a wonderful time. So thank you, Rahj.
Thank you.
I want to say thank you.
And y'all need to go watch him at the Groove.
Don't do that, man, because you lead it so beautifully,
Get
man.
the mic, get the mic.
But she's the one. Oh, right?
Yeah.
I'm saying I can't stand in your shoes, man. You got it so beautifully. And with Josie over, I just follow her lead, and she great energy. So what are you gonna do? And I got the squad up here.
Yeah, man.
Yeah, we got the squad up in here.
Rahj is an amazing musician, and he plays in the Village. He plays at the Groove. He plays. Where else do you play?
Wow.
I've been playing since back in the day.
Yeah, I mean, that dude, when I tell you, we hang out.
show.
It's not that Rahj is just not only a friend, but we hang out. Like, we chill. So it's like after I get off stage and I come down to the Village, and then he's playing, then we get off, and we out there till like 3, 4, 5 o'clock in the morning. So Rahj is a dear friend of mine.
Yes.
Coming to another dear friend. I like this dude right here. The next dude coming to the stage. I'm in host mode. next dude that I like, Dave Thompson. He's the type of dude you want to hang with all the time. He reminds me of being in the hood, hanging, and he can go to the corporate room and hang or whatever like that. He's just one of those chameleons, and he'll check you. Like, if you say something wrong, you always want that boy that's with you to remake. Don't forget, motherfucker. That's a Derrick Thompson. Give it up, Derrick. Thompson.
Hey, yo, Larry, I don't know what the fuck you was talking about. I was just outside panhandling. You need some people to fill some seats, so I came in. Thank you for the breakfast, brother.
Exactly, and that's how we move.
Because I got a drug habit, man. Let me get my heroin in.
And that's how we move. Somebody got to raise the funds. He's an earner. He's an earner. Sitting next to him is my wife. I love her, and it's her wife, too. We share this woman. Her name is Alana Love. Give it up for Alana Love. Alana, thank you for coming.
Girl.
That is our girl. She looks lovely. And Josie and Alana have a thing going on right now. They have a show. It's called Josie and Alana.
Follow us on Instagram at Josie and Alana. We just started. It's a little adventure.
Oh my God, it is
Girls
beautiful.
in the City.
Yeah.
And by the way, I'm wearing skateboard sushi gear. A friend of mine who's a designer, stylist. Well, this shirt was actually longer, but I cropped it because this is how I rock my
You
shit.
didn't crop it enough.
Well, it's enough.
No, it's not.
So thank you. Shout out to Skateboard Sushi.
Skateboard Sushi.
For sponsoring us, actually. Yes.
Yeah, he was here last week.
Yeah,
Doosan.
Yeah,
Oh my God.
check him out, man.
Wonderful spirit. So Skateboard Sushi on Instagram.
Yes,
Skateboard
Skateboard
Sushi. And Josie and Alana, follow them on Instagram, as well as Let's Get Loud and all these other things we're going to be plugging later. Next to Alana is, oh my God, this dude right here. We have the same manager. This dude right here, he has every fucking voice in the world. I'm going to show you a clip. Lloyd. This dude right here, every time I talk to him, it's in a different character, and I love it. So I said, you got to come on today. Do we got something from Floyd?
Hubba, hello, gorgeous. I beg your... oh, indeed, Joker. The Lex Porter 2.0, now with added oomph. Treasure? Lexi, this may be the world's finest supervillain hideout after all. I'll give it to you. Legion of Doom it is. Just one thing. What am I supposed to do with my old hideout?
That means I never have to worry about sleeping in clown sheets again. Feel free to blow it sky high.
Then Joker's Laugh Factory shall go out with a bang. But only once the Batman is trapped inside of it.
Yeah.
So you're Joker, right?
I am one of only 22 human beings in the history of DC to play the Joker, and one's dead.
Hell, give it up.
I was talking to him before.
But I am also Luke Skywalker for LucasArts, Sony, Disney, Lego, and Marvel, making me the only other Joker Jedi besides Mark Hamill himself. But I'm also in more Grand Theft Autos and Rockstar video games as more characters than any motherfucker ever.
Give it up for Lloyd!
Such a radio voice. Such a voice.
Radio voice.
Yeah.
I'm gonna tell you something. This dude will go on all night, and I'll stay there and listen to it. I'm like, do another one, do another one, do another one, do another one. All right, next to him. Oh my God, a second repeat offender. Please put your hands together for my good dude, Danny Warren.
Danny.
Lloyd, I find it so interesting. They just like modeled the Joker's face after your face. It's just like it was just easy animation.
I
I
did special dental work to have a match.
I brought Danny in as well as some other people to come in because I have Paul here. I know you have questions. Danny's new to comedy, and I want to save like at least 2 years off of your progression. Maybe if you can ask something like to do or not to do or whatever like that.
That sounds, yeah.
Okay, cool. Next to Danny, oh my God, this is Legend's mom, and I love her. This is one of my best friends in life. Please put your hands together for Miss Delma. And I see.
Y'all saw Bobby? Y'all saw Bobby? Bobby was getting ready.
But he thought I was.
Bobby, you got gas. Don't get gas.
You thought you was Legend's mom?
Bobby got excited.
I'd like to think of myself more of a father.
He thought it was more important than Legend's mom.
He said, wait a minute, I'm the father.
We love you, Bobby.
Okay, Bobby Lockwood is here.
Hey.
Hi, Bobby.
Happy birthday.
Thank you, brother.
Paul, I love the suit. That's all I'm going to say about that. And listen.
Rental.
JC, do you think your co-host could squat me?
Nigga, God couldn't squat you.
All right.
Oh, man.
He just said she's not God. That's all I'm saying.
Okay.
Did you dirty, Bobby?
Next to Bobby is Roddy McGinnis. I love Roddy McGinnis. We started out in comedy back at Stand Up New York, having some fun doing shows, and he was producing shows. And then he left comedy for a while. We'll talk about that for a while in a little bit. But Roddy, how you doing this morning, man?
Hey.
I'm all right. I'm feeling like the ghost of comedy past. I've come seasonally to haunt you all. I knew JC when he was dressing up like a preacher.
He was a preacher.
I wasn't dressing up.
Which I think you should have stuck with that because it was working for you. You suck now.
It really wasn't. It really wasn't.
Remember that?
Paul,
It wasn't.
Paul, I met Paul like a decade ago, seeing you at Stand Up New York, destroying, and you're doing the very. Are you the only Jew that wears a Waffle House hat in camouflage?
He's Italian.
Are you?
Yeah.
No, it's okay.
It's okay.
Listen, it's the same thing except they have all the money, and it's loud, big family, and. I was convinced you were Jewish. I don't know why. I can be. I'm circumcised. I can be. I'm not. I'm part. As a European male, I remain uncircumcised.
Okay.
I'm glad I got to say that on morning.
Give it up for Roddy. Okay, and coming around right here. I'm gonna give him in a second. Oh, okay. Well, let's do him now. This is Legend's nephew and my friend Torrance's son. Give it up. How you doing, man?
Hello.
Oh, you out of school?
Yes.
Okay. Did you leave, or is the school done this week? You out the whole week?
No.
You still have school days?
You still have school?
Yes.
Okay, we break school here. We play hooky here. We get loud.
Is this the appropriate environment for a child?
Yes. Thank you. Okay, and also this next comic next to him, she's still trying to figure out where she know me from.
I saw her. I met her today.
I love her. She's
Ester.
a funny comic. Ester Chen. Give it up for Ester Chen. Give it up for Ester Chen.
Hi guys, how do I know you?
I met her in the morning, and the first thing she said was, "I still don't know where I met Larry." And I was like,
I texted you yesterday. I was like, how do I know you?
Hey.
It was like a small part of me.
Saxon cab did you climb out of after that?
She texted me that.
Small part of it.
Again, how do I know you? I'll be there at 11.
"Who are you?"
I was like, I don't want to offend anyone.
Give it up for Ester Chen.
I know you.
Give it up for Ester Chen.
All black people.
I'll be there at 11.
That's what it is.
I don't know you. I'll be there at 11. That's the easiest way to steal a bitch and hide her.
So let's get into this. Let's get into it right here. We got Paul MECURIO here today.
Yeah, man.
And Paul, I swear to God, like Paul brings a lot of people on his podcast. You actually had Paul McCartney
Yeah.
on your podcast.
Yeah.
How'd that happen? Talk about that.
He won't leave me alone. He's always stalking me. So needy, that guy. Well, I was blowing him, and sorry, I forgot this.
Usual shit.
I'm sorry, there's a little kid. I'm
It's
sorry.
not our fault. You brought a child in here.
Well, you know what? He's not in school. He's got to learn something.
You gotta learn somehow.
You're gonna learn today.
Go outside.
Listen out there.
Exactly. Yeah. We'll transcribe it. You can read it. So he was doing the Colbert Report, and I was working on the Colbert Report. So he'd finished rehearsal, and I'm running down to get into the studio, and I round the corner and standing. I don't know if you can go wide on this camera, but I'm standing in the hallway all alone like this, leaning against the wall, looking up at the ceiling, chewing gum as Paul McCartney, like all alone. No security, nothing. Not a parrot on his shoulder, nothing.
Yeah.
And my whole it's like one of those things where you're like, is that Paul McCartney and is he all alone? My whole world slows down. I'm like, oh my God, it's Paul McCartney. And then I'm like, do I say hi? Do I not say hi? Because usually like the etiquette is, you leave these people alone.
Yeah.
But he's alone in a hallway. He's like a gazelle on the Serengeti Plains. I'm going to pass, right? So I just go up and I say, real honor to meet you. We're really excited to be on the show. And he goes, oh,
You two are right there.
yeah, there you go.
Ah, yes.
And
He looks excited to be with you, too.
yeah, I know, exactly. He's actually
He's surprised as hell.
He's plotting his own death.
What are you, one of the Jonas Brothers? Who are you?
Like he was waiting for security. He was like,
Go ahead.
how do I get it?
Sebastian?
Yeah. He's like, how the hell I get in this hole?
I walk away and he goes, come back. He goes, what's your name? I go, Paul. He goes, oh, Paul, that's a good name. I'm like, I'll do the jokes, all right? You just play your Love Me Do and collect your royalties. So he goes, what do you do? I go, I'm a stand-up. I work on the show. He goes, oh, I love stand-up. I knew Richard Pryor, blah, 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 this and that. He goes, you got a kid? Yeah, I got a kid. You travel, you tour. So 5-10 minutes go by. I'm talking to Paul McCartney like I'm talking to you. Like on the outside, I'm like, hey, I'm talking to Paul McCartney. On the inside, I'm like, I'm talking to Paul McCartney. Like out of my mind. You know when you're like the two parts of the brain are going, just keep the conversation going. Don't say something. What's the next thing, right? So then I'm getting really close to his face because he's amazing. So I'm coming. I wanted to check him out. So it was the close talker in Seinfeld. I swear to God, this is all true. To the point where he's like leaning backwards. Do you ever see those chimps on the Discovery Channel and they clean like fleas off their? I could have cleaned ticks off his eyebrows. Like that's how close. So then I'm like, I'm gonna just all right. I gotta leave and just leave it alone. So by the way, when I'm talking to him, I'm waiting for somebody to come up to me and tase me for talking to the guy, but no one's coming up to me. So I go into the bathroom. I call my wife and I'm like hyperventilating. Like I'm like, you're not gonna believe this. I talk to Paul McCartney. She goes, where are you? I go, I'm in the bathroom at the Colbert Report show. You're not, are you? I'm like, no, it's not Tuesday. And then this is how my brain works, because my podcast is one-on-one interviews with people about who they are, what they do, and how they do what they do. I'm kind of a process geek, so I could talk. That's really like, it doesn't matter what you do, but music, I can't do. I don't know how people make music. You hear that sound, I'm going to put the tambourine and the thing. So I go to my brain goes like this. Paul McCartney should do my podcast. Like, that's how my brain works, right? Like, Rahj is brilliant, right? Yeah. When he's at the Y, they crush it, right? Yeah. And, like, you go, what he does is you make me so late because I'm like, I got to go, and then you're so good I end up staying, and I'm like an hour late. But they're brilliant. Yeah. I don't know how they do it. So I go, I knock on McCartney's dressing room door, and I go, excuse me, I know this is crazy, but I'd love to talk about how you make music. Would you do my podcast? And he goes, yeah, sure.
Holy shit.
Sort of like how I did you.
Yeah, exactly, right. Now, when there's like that hot girl, that hot guy you want to ask out, and they're way above your pay grade, but you're like, I'm going to ask them out anyway, and I know that they're going to say no. Instead, bet on my deathbed, I'll know I asked them. Instead, they say yes, and you don't have a plan.
Yeah.
That's me. Yeah. He goes, yeah, sure, how would we do it? I don't get too flustered anymore. I'm not making this up to be funny. This is what I did. He goes, I'm standing up. Right? He goes, yeah, sure, how would we do it? And I'm like, and I start rubbing my leg like Rain Man, and I'm doing this. I'll come to London. And he's like, we're in a room in New York together. Why would you come to London? And then he goes, is it easy to do? And I actually said to the most influential musician in the last century, oh, yeah, it's really easy. You could do it on your phone, naked from your toilet. I'm like, what do I say?
Oh my gosh.
Yeah.
And now, like, I'm screwing this up, right? So I go, look, I'll leave you alone. I'll find your assistant, and we'll set it up. Here's the mind blow right here. He goes, no, you and I'll do it. I go, what do you mean? He goes, they're going to just make it too complicated. You and I will exchange phone numbers, and when I call you, I try to be ready to do it.
Oh.
So now, I'll never forget, I had to post it. I wrote my number, and my hand's shaking, and I'm handing my phone number to Paul McCartney, and I'm going, and I said to him, I'm not going to sleep with you, old man. And then I said, I'm going to sleep with you, old man. You're a Beatle. I will sleep with you.
Yo!
So to end the story, he takes the number. Now, I figure this guy's been doing this for years, right? He knows how to blow people up in a nice way, like it's a phone number to a Chinese restaurant, right?
Yeah.
Okay, so I was working at the Daily Show at the time, and the show's 2 blocks away, and I was running late from the Colbert Report taping, and I had to get to the Daily Show. And I'm late, and I'm like really freaking out that I'm late, so I'm getting my bag together, and my phone rings, and I don't recognize the number, and I let it ring the voicemail. And this is the message on my phone.
Hey, Paul, it's Paul McCartney here. I'm going to ring you back in 5 minutes to do the podcast thing. I've got some time now. Otherwise, I'm going to run out of time. So if you're there in 5 minutes' time, you got me. Okay, bye.
He said
5 minutes.
He said your little podcast thing.
Yeah, I know, exactly.
Thing.
He's a Beatle, he could say that.
You sent Paul McCartney the voicemail. Come on.
Yeah,
Who's done that? Who's done that? Nobody's done that.
Done.
Done. Drop the mic, walk out. Come on.
You know what? I wasn't going to call him back, but I didn't. I say, why are you bothering me? Why? I got my podcast thing. And then, end of story. I was BSing him that I had a line or something, right? I was like, I don't know. You say anything, right?
Yeah.
Well, my podcast studio at the time was in L.A., so I call and I go, listen, I got Paul McCartney. I need a recording line right now. And some, like, I don't know, like, he didn't know. He didn't care. He was like, hang on. Oh, yeah, there's somebody in the studio. And I snapped. And
shit.
Did you not hear me? I said, unless you have Jesus Christ or John Lennon in that studio, get him out right now.
John Lennon.
And then I had to stall him for a half hour, and we got him. And he's out. So anyway, he's on the podcast. And all we do is talk about music and how he makes music. No stuff about. Yeah, it was crazy. He was the nicest guy. I found out later, I think it was because I didn't ask, when we talked in the hallway, I just talked to him like he was a normal guy, didn't ask for an autograph, and didn't ask for a picture.
Exactly. Yeah.
Then, fast forward like a year, and I'm playing the Improv in L.A., and he sees that I'm playing the Improv in L.A., and he comes by.
Wow.
See me? So I go to the general manager. I go, look, I pull it first. I go, listen, Paul McCartney's coming. Just put him in the corner. Secure. Don't let anybody take pictures, right? Okay, no problem. I do my set. I go to the bathroom. I go into the men's room, and in the men's room are like 3 comics and Paul McCartney, and they're like,
Oh, come on.
That's what's up.
Bro, that's my celebrity.
exactly.
That's mine.
Get your own. Go find
You know how
Ringo.
many dicks I sucked to get him here?
Exactly.
Funny. That's funny. Okay, speaking of calls, I think we got somebody on the phone right now calling into us. Who do we have?
Paul McCartney?
Yeah.
Heather?
Okay, Heather. Oh, Heather, I know her from Bay Ridge. She wants to wish us a happy Thanksgiving and tell us what she's doing for Thanksgiving. Hey, Heather, how you doing?
I'm doing well. How you doing?
Oh, my God. This is one of the funniest chicks you'll ever want to freaking meet. We met at a show, and it was nonstop laughter. What you doing this morning?
Just chilling out, listening to your podcast.
Are you cooking?
Hell no.
Why aren't you cooking?
What do I look like, Betty Crocker?
This girl is quick.
Larry, I don't think you're allowed to say
Ain't
that.
Thursday yet.
Asked me about Jenny O yesterday. I mean, let's put it for real. Who's going into, like, ShopRite and saying, excuse me, you got my Jenny O turkey?
I got a funny story about Jenny O. Jenny O, it was a snowstorm in Philly one year, and all the food was taken off the shelves because it was a snowstorm. Everybody go to the thing. Everything was gone but Jenny O. Do you eat Jenny O?
Sure, that's the first thing I run into ShopRite for. I'm like, you got Jenny O chicken?
You got Jenny. Well, Miss Delma. Miss Delma.
I heard Purdue is out of stock. Please give me Jenny O.
Do you, Miss Delma? You shop? Do you shop Jenny O?
Yes. No.
Yes.
Put it up. Put it. Oh, we have Jenny O's favorite customer right here.
CEO of Jenny O.
Saying I'm favorite customer, but listen, there's some good stuff to come out, and sometimes it's worth trying it.
Would you try a Jenny O turkey for this Thanksgiving?
If I didn't already have one, I might have.
Who do you usually buy?
Fair enough.
Say that again?
Who do you usually buy? What brand of turkey?
Butterball.
Butterball.
Old-fashioned Butterball.
Yeah, Paul. Okay. All right. Well, Heather, thank you for calling in. We on the Butterball. We are not using Jenny O.
Ciao. Have a happy Thanksgiving.
I love you. All right. Now, speaking of Thanksgiving.
Oh my God. I mean, everybody knows Thanksgiving is like one of those times that families get together and it's like a fucking shit show, right? So I just wanted to know, actually, I think I know that Larry has a really funny story, or wild. I don't know if it's funny.
Well, it's wild. It's wild to me because Thanksgiving, you get around the table and people, they haven't seen each other. Y'all know the deal with Thanksgiving.
All the questions
comes out, what's going on with your life or whatever like that, who you dating or whatever like that. So I had a big reveal one year at Thanksgiving. I don't know if it was the cranberry sauce or whatever like that, but it had me feeling kind of turkey with the tryptophan and everything. It had me feeling all kind of woozy and everything like that. So I said, speak your mind, Beyah. This family right here. This family right here. Come on, I'm with my familia right here. So I'm with my black family.
How long ago was this?
Not your Puerto Rican family this time?
I'm gonna tell you why. I'm gonna tell you why this is important. I came out to my black family that I was a Republican. Oh,
what a fight.
The last thing you want to do in the hood. That is the and this was around right. It was around election time that year, and everybody was Hillary. And I'm just not to get political at all. I'm just telling a story about Thanksgiving. So now. When I tell you, my aunt was going in the kitchen with the mac and cheese, the bowl, to clean it or whatever like that. She stopped like, and when I tell you, everybody got on me like, wow. It became this big fight. I was not invited back for 3 straight years. Now, Donald's my guy. This is still not getting political. I don't care who your guy or woman is. The thing is that until this election is figured out this year, if Donald wins, I will not be back in the hood for Thanksgiving for another 4 years. So, Alana, I don't know if you cook or not, but I may have to hang with you.
But I don't know how to cook, so I know how to eat, though.
Okay, we'll figure.
Y'all gonna be ordering out.
Find somebody to cook.
You talk like Melania.
That's why my cap is red.
Melania impression because he'd enjoy that.
Who does mac and cheese for Thanksgiving?
Black people.
Oh, wait a minute.
Black people.
That's a violation.
Yes,
I want everybody to be quiet. No, give him.
Where are you from?
Give him. No.
I mean, it's
Ms. Delma, give him back the microphone because I want to hear that. I want the world to hear that question again.
Who does mac and cheese for Thanksgiving?
Black people.
Wow.
Better yet, if that's what you're doing, that's not hard to make, Larry.
No, listen, I'm not saying I was making it. She was making it. I'm just telling you what was going on. But here's how I can get back into my black family. You be my opening act and ask that question.
And then they're just going to be like, you're disowned.
Yeah. Let me tell you something. Every time I go back, I drive back and, they used to be like, we love your car, your BMW, your Mercedes. Now they don't even speak. They care less about me. Like they even like disown me on Facebook. Like they really tripping. Like my brother, he stayed with me. My mom, she stayed with me, but she don't agree. Like they'll say some slick stuff on the side. Like, yeah, you see what Donald? I said, you're watching CNN. Turn the Fox. Yo, so that was my Thanksgiving story. So does anybody have a Thanksgiving You don't have to match a beat or anything like that, but did anybody have a Thanksgiving?
But that's why they say politics and religion. You do not speak of these things. Not Thanksgiving, but any old holiday, any old dinner table, any lunch table. You just don't bring them up because it's just too personal, and some people are just too fanatic about certain things.
Well, it's politics, religion, and nutrition.
Nutrition.
You can't tell people how to eat because they're always saying, I'm fat. Yeah, I am, actually.
Okay.
Tell people how to eat.
Right. Because everybody's body is like different.
Everybody's insecure and everybody eats all their emotions. So it's like if you tell them how to eat, you're telling them they're a bad person, they're a fat slob. But you are.
You got a problem with what black people eat on Thanksgiving, Chrissy?
Hell no, I eat what black people eat on Thanksgiving.
Eat black people on Thanksgiving.
If you're nasty.
Oh my
Got the
God.
head in the freezer. I talk to it every Tuesday.
Miss Delma. Miss Delma, talk to me.
I got to tell y'all something. My father's from North Carolina, Husky.
Okay.
And I had a pig that they gave to me. They said it was mine.
Okay.
I was going there every year feeding it. I thought it was mine. Couldn't tell me nothing. I go this one year, I go to feed a pig. I don't see the pig, but I'm looking for the pig. Been inside, I looked at the table, I seen everything on the table, but I didn't recognize what I was supposed to recognize, okay? I pursued him. Where's Della at?
Della!
That's why you don't name pigs.
On your plate.
Della eggs.
I was 13 years old.
Okay.
Okay, so when I go to sit down, I'm staring at. I go to sit down and I'm now staring face to face, and I said, "It looked like a pig.
Okay.
Look like the face. Look like the butt." And I'm doing like this. I was done.
And I know what you did.
Oh.
Della!
A street pig named Desire.
Yo, Larry. Hey, yo, Larry.
Did you eat it?
Hey, yo, Larry. That pig was hers, but that bacon and ham was everybody.
Exactly. Pig feet in the South, trust me. Pig is not part of the family.
That pig never stood a chance.
Didn't
on the
make you
menu.
vegetarian though, did it? You still eat meat, right?
Very seldom.
Oh.
That would hurt
I'll tell
me.
you what, I didn't tend to no more pigs.
Yeah.
Do you still eat pork?
Very seldom.
Very seldom. Yeah, but bacon tastes good. Pork chops taste good.
I eat it every now and then, but let me tell you something. That lasts a long time when you look at it right in the face.
I'll bet.
Floyd.
Yes.
Hey, what would a Thanksgiving be for Darth Vader?
What? I find your lack of condiments disturbing. Obi-Wan's like, I, the Miracle Whip Darth. And he opens the jar with the Force, like, right? Does it have sugar? It only has a little sugar. Does it make egg salad? It makes a delightful egg salad. That's the picnic.
Okay.
He's a one-man show.
I'm telling you, he's a one-man show. Okay. We got another person calling in to wish us a happy birthday. I mean,
Thanksgiving.
a Thanksgiving.
Everybody's birthday.
Yeah, hold on. Everybody, listen up. Listen up. We got a special guest calling in. Who's on the phone?
Happy birthday. Whose birthday it is? This is your president, Donald Trump. Okay?
Oh, it's my good friend.
hi.
Good friend Donald. How you doing?
I'm doing fantastic, Larry. As you know, I do a lot of work at the White House.
Okay.
Right now, I'm eating a cheeseburger and I'm watching Fox News. Okay, Fox News.
Okay. Now, in the place today, we got Christy, we got JC, we got Paul MECURIO, we got Legend, we got Derrick Thompson, we got Alana. All your favorite fans.
A lot of people. Look, I love the Africans. Okay, they're my favorite people. Nobody has employed more Africans than I have. Okay, let's be real here.
Not thank you, man.
Or stiff them on their pay.
That's Paul MECURIO.
I always love the bigots who don't know they bigots.
Do you know Paul MECURIO?
Yeah, Paul MECURIO, he makes some great steaks. He's a chef, right? He cooks food.
That's right. Jewish.
Great steaks, Paul. Great steaks.
Thank you.
So what are you doing for Thanksgiving, Mr. President?
Look, for Thanksgiving, we're going to pardon the turkey. Everybody loves the turkey. They're like, no, we don't want to kill the turkey. I'm going to pardon a turkey, okay? And I'm not talking about Adam Schiff, the pencil-neck Congress guy, okay?
Well,
he should be impeached. But I'm going to pardon the turkey, Larry, and as you know, we have a great festival at the White House. You're invited.
I will be there.
Give
your wife my best. I think
Larry, I also want to wish you a happy Kwanzaa. Okay.
Oh, yes.
Well, that's kind of early, Mr. President. Kind of early.
I know you love your Kwanzaa, Larry.
I do love my Kwanzaa. I do love it. Hey,
Big fan of the Kwanzaa.
Big fan of the Kwanzaa. hey, before you go, Mr. President, because I know you're busy, can you wish Legend a happy birthday?
Oh, Legend. Legend, I want to wish you a happy birthday. I hope you're enjoying the record high stock market. Invest well, Legend. Invest well. And I know good things are going to happen to you when you have a name like Legend. I mean, can you fail? Can you ever see a homeless guy named Legend?
Not at all.
I don't think so.
Change, please, change.
Thank you, Mr. President. You have a good day, Mr. President.
God bless America. Thank you, Larry.
God bless America.
We had him on the show.
How can you hate Trump? He keeps winning.
Yeah, just you.
Everybody wants a winner.
All right, that was the smidgen of our political section, and we can go back to just having fun again. All right, so now
Speaking about we were talking about not talking about politics, religion, or nutrition, and you said some people are fat, some people are skinny, whatever. I'm going to speak for the Greeks. We do not give a shit if you're fat or skinny. We will tell you, oh, so you gained some weight, I see. There is no, you know, and I think that Spanish people and Italian people are the same way. We don't...
Jewish, My wife is a WASP, white Anglo-Saxon Protestant, so Potters are last name. And that means, like, Mayflower people, right? Yeah. So they're real, like, there's not a lot of this, right? It's very, like, everything stays inside. They don't talk.
Yeah.
They drink martinis and get divorced.
Yeah.
Like, that's what they do, right?
Orgasms.
So we met in high school, and I took her like a couple of months into dating. I took her to the Sunday Italian family dinner, which is no different than African Americans, Jews, Hispanic. It's a lot of people, a lot of food, and a lot of loud whatever, right? And it's this and that, and this is when like everybody was smoking inside, cigars, cigarettes, like 30 people, right? And we leave, and my wife goes, and I think stereotypes are great. Like, you should embrace them instead of trying to pretend now in this culture, like, everybody's the same and you can't say what's in front of you, right? And because literally, like, if I'm on stage now and I point out something, the black guy right there, the people go, I'm like, what the fuck? He's black, like, what? Or Asian, right? So my wife, I said to Carol, I go, how was it? She goes, oh, it was good. She goes, but why was everybody so mad at each other? I'm like, what do you mean? She goes, everybody was yelling at each other. That's just how we talk. We weren't yelling.
That's how we talk.
It was like, pass the meatballs. What did you mean by that? I never loved you. You know what I mean? And so there is that.
Yeah,
like,
we don't have a filter.
Honesty on the sleeve.
But that's the thing. I believe that because I've lived in Europe for 10 years, and that we have a completely different mentality. We're blunt. We're honest, and I feel like honesty is misinterpreted for rudeness in this country.
You're being being mean.
Sad. Like I can't.
And in comedy, it's people on the lookout for them to label you as not being politically correct.
I'm not PC.
So there's no nuance, right? Right now, you're either this or you're that, and there's nothing in the gray area. So exactly what you say. So honesty gets replaced by, oh, you're being politically incorrect.
Right.
And then people want to try to catch you in your
slipping.
Well, like my wife and I were walking our dog in Central Park, and it's a law you're supposed to have a dog on a leash. This actually happened, and the guy is a Latino guy, and he had his dog, and it was not on a leash. It was scaring people. It was a little aggressive, and my wife was like the nicest person in the world. Goes, your dog, it really should be on a leash. That's all she said to him, and he goes like this, why? Because it's a pit bull? Like implying that we were racist white people toward pit bulls? Like, no, because it's got a baby in its mouth. That's why.
It's true.
It's true. It has tattoos and it's smoking Chesterfield. All right, big guy?
Maybe the baby asked for it. You know, maybe the baby got a little lippy.
You know, it's a microcosm, not just for comedy, but of like society where like everybody is looking to find somebody that's not appropriate. And it's exhausting.
It really is. And actually, it's such a challenging thing, I feel, especially for comedians these days and entertainers, to try to be funny and real, but at the same time having to like watch every word they say, you know, to not be confused for a racist or sexist.
Rahj,
That's the whole premise of my Wild Wild West show at West Side Comedy Club every month, late Saturday, 11 o'clock.
Yeah.
And it's
Nice way to
NSFW, right? Nice plug. Finger that.
We want to know where you are.
So, and the next one's December 7th, and 1 year anniversary. And you're not invited. No, I'm just kidding. But that's the premise of it. It's NSFW, NC-17. There's disclaimers out. Gina Savage puts disclaimers at the door. If you can't take a joke, get the fuck out of the club.
Please do.
There's no refunds.
Don't ruin comedy.
This is comedy. We are the safe place.
Yes. Yeah.
We are the tension relievers from all the shit going on outside. If you can't laugh, listen, I had an incident 8 days ago on the train. I got assaulted.
That's fucked up, by the way.
Knocked out. sucker punched. This is not from making my man sandwich not fast enough.
You put a steak on it like Bobby Brady.
Just
So
crazy.
if you can't laugh at that.
So I'm in the ER and I'm busting the doctor's balls, and the doctor goes, "You're a strong woman," because that's one of the top 5 coping mechanisms with trauma is sense of humor.
Yeah.
Okay.
And
Okay.
I went on stage the next night. Aaron Berg called me, goes, "You want to come on Frantic tonight? Are you out of the hospital?" I said, "Yes, I'm out of the hospital. Come on and just talk about it, see what happens."
Yeah.
So I went on stage. I said, it took getting a black guy to get a spot tonight at the stand. I would have much preferred sucking dick like the rest of the female comics.
Yes. Now, Rahj, let me ask you something. Rahj, okay, well, you're a musician. Do y'all have to play politically correct notes? Is that a thing? Like, is it played over? Is it, okay, can you?
Is it gender neutral?
Talk about it, Rahj. Come on.
So we got to back up for a moment, man, because you're talking about like just the honesty. And what's right now, I think that when it comes to comedy and music, actually, comedy now more than music, because you guys are the leaders, you're the forefront of free speech. It is your point. It is everything that we need to do. Like, because if you talk about this stuff, you're going to end up fighting. You're going to be upset. You're going to be crying. You get something in this world, everything going on. You need someone's going to break the ice to make us because you have to laugh about it. If you don't have it, like you said, it is the mechanism. You need that. And right now, it is such a free conduit. You guys need it. So anything you guys are thinking, man, I'd say out with it. And it's great with all the things that are going on. And someone's going to say something that's going to rebut it. It keeps conversations going. Right. That's what it's all about, man.
If you're a comic on stage and there's a moment where you're afraid to say something because you feel like it's not going to get well received or people are going to get offended, then say it. So, for example, nobody talks to people in wheelchairs.
Right.
In life and generally in comedy clubs because they're well-intentioned. They don't know how to deal with a person in a wheelchair. So rather than deal with it, they avoid them. And then when you do that, you're marginalizing them.
Yeah,
exactly.
So instead, I go to that person in a wheelchair and I will talk to them. But you have to talk to them like they're not broken. So if I'm going to talk to you about your relationship with her and are you guys fucking and this and that, I'm going to say the exact same thing to that person.
Right.
Because in their mind, they're not handicapped. They're still that 15-year-old young, vibrant person that's running around and going,
right. That's true.
And so I think you have to lead. The reason I do that in a comedy show is in a little subtle way, I'm trying to sort of lead by example for everybody in the room so that maybe the next time they're out somewhere and they see a handicapped person, they'll talk to them instead of avoiding them because they saw me do it with somebody and the person had a great time. You know what I mean? They just want to be treated. There's a lot of stuff that you can there are messages that you can say literally and then others that can come through your actions on stage. So, I mean, it's like a powerful thing, like Rahj said,
Yeah. I'd like to tag that, Paul, is it's very exhausting for them to be treated like they're weird or special or walk on eggshells.
Yeah.
Because people ask me all the time, what happened? Why did he hit you? I don't fucking know. And I get irritated. I go, I didn't make a sandwich fast enough. Maybe I bit down too hard on the dick when I was sucking it.
Christy,
I don't know.
Christy's
Many reasons.
Christy's the only victim to actually look better after her assault.
That's a thing. You know.
That's why I love these.
A, that's comedy, and B, you can tell they're a team.
Keisha, hold my baby.
I'm going to back up here.
Yeah. Yo, say that again.
Keisha, hold my baby. I'm going to beat this motherfucker down.
Go ahead, Rahj.
Well, wait, that's the thing. Like I said, so it gets down to like the honesty, right? Like you said, even in singing, like what is it? Can you do off note? Yeah, you can. You lose your points if you're not honest. So that's what all of our jobs are to do, no matter what it is, no matter what it is you're doing. Which leads me to a question that I have for you. When it comes down to doing this for a line of work, I mean, it's crazy. To me, not being to us seeing it, right? Someone's getting on the mic, you're saying what you're thinking. It's amazing to me, you guys, and you're going to make people laugh on the bad days, on your bad days. When was it? What was the moment where, I really like to know from if it could do it, but Paul, it'd be great to you to set it off. It's like, when was the moment that you knew that this is what you were going to do? Like, this is what you were going to do?
Came out of the womb, I was a funny fuck.
Paul used to be a lawyer.
I already had a booking. I was booked at 3 improvs when I came out of the room. I was no. I'm glad you asked that because I had a midlife crisis in my mid to late 20s. I went to law school. I was a lawyer and I was a banker. here on Wall Street. I was doing these big merger deals. But when I was in law school, I was writing short film ideas, and then when I got money, one of my first paychecks, I bought a camera and I started making short films. And the comic strip used to let you play like videos, like the Christmas party stuff like that. I would do that, and then I made a real film like on 16mm black and white, and it got into like the Aspen Comedy Festival, all this other stuff. And then I saw my name on the screen. I'm like, wow. And then I started writing jokes as a hobby. I don't know why. I always loved watching comics as a kid. So what happened was I met Jay Leno at a private function. I didn't know what I was going to do with these jokes. I didn't plan on being a comic. This was never in my plan, ever. I was sort of set doing what I was doing, and then I gave him the jokes, and he was like, okay, you know. It really does blow your mind.
Him and his gin?
And then he took them, and I said, look, I'm never going to use them, and maybe you can use them. And a couple of days later, the phone rings, actually. He was like, hey, it's Jay Leno, his phone there. And I thought it was my friend David who does impressions, not me. I thought he was pulling a prank. I swear to God. And I go, yeah, really funny, David. He goes, no, really, it's Jay Leno. I'm like, yeah, right. He goes, no, really. And I actually said to Jay Leno, you do a lousy Jay Leno. Right?
Oh, man. You're hired. Reverse shots fired.
Ouch. You have to do yourself the
just
right
like
way.
just like McCartney. I know how to exactly say the right thing. So end of story. He
nagged him.
But another week later, he called me and he said, I'm going to do one of your jokes on the Tonight Show. And he did one of my jokes. He paid me $50 for the joke.
Oh, wow.
Yeah, and
So
I
he didn't
think-
give you credit.
Yeah, what's that?
You don't give credit, obviously. He was just...
No. Why I made him wear my name on his suit. No. But the answer was, but I didn't know it then. I had to figure this out later. Like, this is cliche. I thought I picked it, but it picked me. But I didn't realize it then. But it was that moment when he did my joke. Like, we're all lovers of comedy, right?
Yeah.
So we've all, since little kids, watched comedy, stand-up, improv, whatever, comedy movies. Out of that box came other people's words, and then all of a sudden my words came out of that box, and people reacted to it.
Yeah.
And you're like,
And
I'm
I
good.
think what was missing in my life was,
stole my
as a
joke.
lawyer and a banker, like I didn't hate what I was doing, but when I'm advising you on your deal, it's not my deal, it's your deal, and I'm whispering in your ear as your advisor. But
Yeah.
this was my creation.
Yeah.
Well, just like a
It was also on the back of your mind because you said that when your first paycheck, you got a camera, which
Yeah.
means it was there.
Yeah, it was there.
It was just not developed.
And so he did that. I became obsessed with writing jokes. Then he said, go out and try the jokes. So I started to live this like secret double life where I was a lawyer by day, and then on dinner breaks I go to dive bars in the Bowery, and I do open mic nights in my like little Brooks Brothers suit. It was like, I want to take up everybody's time. I got a ton of stories, but anyway.
Oh, we love your stories.
And then I kind of fought it. I'm like, this is like some lawyers golf. I'm a comedian. I tell, and then eventually it kind of, but it was that. And I think what was missing in my life was no different than a cook or a painter or even a carpenter that builds a beautiful table. Like there's something about like there's nothing and then there's something there that emanated from your soul that I think I needed, but I didn't realize I needed. Much the way you guys, you're so great because you're so in it in the moment as a musician. Like that's why you're mesmerizing to watch, whether you're with the big band or with just doing you and Gnome, just at the cellar. So. It was that moment, but it took me a while to figure it out that was that moment, because I was like, Jesus, what's going on? I'm completely confused. Why am I suddenly into comedy? I'm going to throw all this security away?
Away, yeah.
Yeah, it's always a risk.
Bobby, no, wait a minute. Bobby has been waiting on a question, and that's why I brought you here, and because people like Bobby, they're developing as comedians. Right. So go ahead, holla at him.
Yeah, it was kind of on topic with what he's saying. Like with the PC stuff that's going on right now, do you think it was easier back then to become successful as a comedian, or do you think now there's more opportunity given, there's so many ways to actually be seen and like?
It's a good question. I think I haven't been doing it like, centuries or whatever, but like I do think when there were fewer platforms, it was harder because there were fewer platforms. I think now it's equally hard because there are so many platforms, there's so much coming at people. How do you break through the din, right? So I think ultimately what happens is we all go on stage and we're like this. We're holding on like that because it's scary as shit in the beginning, right? So all we want to do is relate. And I think in order to relate, I think subconsciously when you write at that stage, early open mic, whatever is, I'm going to write stuff people can relate to. So you're not really defined because you're talking about the same stuff a lot of people are talking about, McDonald's, fast food, this and that, whatever, being on the subway. But then you have to get to the point where you get so comfortable on stage, which takes a long time as a comic because you're not an actor. You're not hiding behind a costume and a script. You're not a musician who has a band and whatever, not to take anything away from that. Like, so I always say, if my mother hugged me 2 more times, I wouldn't be a comic. And I'm not even joking. Like, it's so, you know what I mean? Yeah. To go on stage and go, just open yourself up. Yeah. So once you get to the point where you're comfortable doing that, then you can go to the next level in your writing and start to really write from in here and who you are. And then that's what breaks you out. I mean, everybody can blame everything they want. Oh, there's too many comics, there are too many platforms, there are not enough platforms. But if you're really good and you work at it and you're focused on a defined voice that only you can do, there'll be somewhere for you to kind of stand out and shine. You know?
I want to go to Miss Delma and then Esther real quick, because if she may have a question.
My question is to you, if for some reason that you're unable to continue to be a comedian, now I sit here and I think about Robin
You heard
Williams.
something? Am I getting thrown out of the business or something?
No, I'm asking because of Robin Williams, Mork and Mindy. I watched him for years.
Yeah.
And to hear that he killed himself, which was suicide, they had different things that they said that he did. But my thought was, him doing what he's done so long and being funny, he could not no longer live or want to live without being able to have that ingredient to continue to do that.
Yeah.
I always say we should reinvent ourselves in most situations.
Yeah.
A lot of people have no clear understanding of what I'm talking about, but we're multitask people. We have a lot of things. We have a lot of gifts. Now, back to you, if for some reason, lost a voice, or let's say your wife says, listen, you've done this for many years, why don't you try something else? What would you bring into that?
Dudes or?
I would,
You, JC, she's not talking to you.
Wait a minute. Speak up.
No, go ahead.
I think I'd want to be a greeter at Walmart. You know what?
On Black Friday.
I don't think that I would listen to anybody because I think that you have to believe it before everybody else does, and you have to bring them along. Same thing as a comic in a room. Like, the way you get a room to go where you want them to go is you have to emotionally, they have to feel it. I think audiences are very, very intelligent emotionally. They may not be IQ smart, but they can sense in a minute if you're bullshitting them or whatever. I saw a comic, who'll go unnamed, and he's a pretty well-known comic, Jewish comic.
Okay.
He's doing basically an urban show at Caroline's, and he's going on stage and he's going, "Hey, schnizzle, all that fucking nonsense," and he's going on, and he's trying to relate to them like he's one of them, and he's not. And then about like 5 minutes in, this is an established major headliner, not a guy that's figuring it out.
Right.
And then one thing happened, right? He starts talking to this person, and then one guy talks to him, and he says to the guy, it was me, my man, and the guy looks up and he goes, "Man, you're Jewish. Why the fuck you trying to be black?"
Yeah.
And he lost the room for the rest of the set.
Yeah.
So if you insult your audience because you think that they're not smart enough to figure out you're playing a game with them, then they're going to eat you alive because they have all the power. So I think what I would do is, look, Richard Jeni killed himself. I think what happens is there's a deep well of need that I think comics have, or at least I do. I need reassurance still, like I did well, did I do well? I'm better with it, but I'm not all the way there. And I think if that's all you have, if you don't have a family, if you don't have other things to kind of take your focus, it can be really hard, And so I kind of understand how those guys kill themselves. Not that I'm thinking about doing it or anything like that, but
let's not talk about killing each other.
If that's your whole life and it's not going the way you want it to go, if your value is wrapped up in what other people think of you, then it just becomes, everything breaks down. I'd probably go back to law.
Okay.
What I would do is I'd go do like real estate closings in Rhode Island, where I'm from. No joke, like something simple.
Yeah, one more question from. Oh, and you know what? I'm gonna get.
I don't know if I answered your question. I'm sorry. Yeah, you did. Okay.
You go back to law.
Let me get Esther really quick, and then I'm gonna get.
Hi.
You have any questions for as a young comic for Paul?
Yeah. I'm very young. I'm 21. I'm not.
I was gonna hit on you, but
I was like, okay.
No, I'm not. This is like young comic. Yeah, how do you look so tall on screen?
I mean, right now?
Right now.
Sit up.
When I was seeing your footage on the Late Show.
And that's that's why I'm glad Roddy is here,
Angles.
because you actually said something. Roddy had to leave comedy for a minute, right?
Yeah, I went mad.
And this is
I went
a real
properly
thing.
crazy. I went bananas in the head.
And why do you think, what precipitated it?
All manner of things. A thermodynamic miracle that just everything aligned in the universe, and I just went.
Snapped.
Yeah, and it comes out of nowhere. It's the most terrifying thing because there's no progression to it. It just kind of comes out of nowhere and hits you. And it was like proper, like beautiful mind type stuff, but I'm not clever, so it was just called a mind. And it was terrifying. And I thought people were leaving me messages in the snow and stuff. It was truly bananas.
Really serious.
Yeah.
I have two friends.
Pardon? My light? No. The light changed color, and that's what freaks me out.
I have two friends that are very established comics. One who was my writing partner on The Daily Show, and he had to stop doing stand-up because if he didn't have a good set, and I don't mean like a good set on national TV, I mean like a spot at the comic strip on a Thursday night, he would just rape himself. Like, it was just emotionally, he could not.
Wow.
So he said, I got to stop. And then another comic, and I don't want to mention his name because I don't want to compromise him, he walked away and had to do a lot of work with therapy and then came back, and he's much better now. But he was in a very unhealthy place about it. So it can really, like, especially if you're on the road a lot and you're alone. Like, I'm on the road a lot and I'm alone, but I do have my wife and my kid and I can call home. But I said to my wife, like, just last week, I go, I can't imagine, like, if somebody's, like, single.
Doesn't have anyone back.
Because it's a very isolated life. You go in, you get up, go to bed early, or you go to bed late, you get up early, do press the first morning you're there, go back to your room, chill out, do a show, go back to your room. And it's like, you can start to eat yourself up. You know what I mean? Because you have nobody to talk to. There's nobody to, like.
You can always call us, Paul.
Oh, I will. Trust me.
I left for a
What are you wearing?
All right, I always like to let things be like a teaching lesson. I got the young man right here. What's your name? Now, what is it?
Pricine.
Pricine. I know you. I know your dad. I remember when you were born, but it's been a minute.
What's your name?
But I forgot your name. But like I said, this is Legend's nephew. And so what question do you have? Because I know you're going to be a comedian.
Why does almost all the people in this room have hats on?
Oh.
Because they're bald.
Yeah. When you get to that level, that's a good,
I don't like this kid.
That's a good observation.
I want you to start off, that's your opening bit. I want you to start off with that. All right, so now, last thing, can we see one more Paul clip? And then, do we got time for one more Paul clip? Okay. I just want to
bored with me. You
see how he puts it all together one last time, and then we're gonna ride out with a Dave Temple clip or whatever like that. But I thought that was a good question.
Comedian who hosts the podcast Two Chairs and a Microphone. Please welcome Paul MECURIO.
Stop watching yourself.
Thank you very much. That's very nice. I got to tell you, I saw this the other night, blew my mind. Like a couple of blocks from the theater, running across Broadway, a rat with a whole green apple in his mouth. Like a big grain of space, just booking. And I'm looking at that, and I'm thinking, good for him, he's eating healthy. He's working out, his cholesterol numbers must be great, you know. I'm tired. You ever been so tired you look at a homeless guy asleep on the street and go, boy, I wish I could sleep like that. I don't need a box spring, I need a box.
Okay, all right, one more time for Paul MECURIO. And so, since our partner in crime couldn't be here, Dave Temple, I think, where is he traveling to?
Maryland.
He's traveling.
Hi, Dave. I
Hey,
hope you're
Dave.
having fun.
What's going on, Dave? All right, so now, he left us with a few words of happy Thanksgiving, so we got Dave's clip right here. It's his way of telling us to enjoy Thanksgiving.
Y'all gotta start respecting the turkey's name. Put some respect on the turkey's name. These turkeys died that we can have Thanksgiving for over 200 years. Slaughtered by the masses. You just give them away for free. What's a turkey cost? Don't nobody know. They free. Nobody's ever paid for turkey. Most supermarkets give away free turkeys if you spend $75 or more. That's total disrespect. The turkey is the whole reason for Thanksgiving. You just give it away. The only time turkey comes up any other time throughout the year is when it's being used as an insult. In television and movies, turkeys are worn as props, thrown on the floors, massacred by dogs. Every Thanksgiving, you guys are out here handing out turkeys to the homeless. They can't use it. They don't have a stove. You give out a turkey on Thanksgiving Day. Understand it was traded for drugs. Put some respect on turkey's name.
James Temple. Yes.
Yeah, understand.
All right. So
He was our guy.
that is our show today. Did you have fun?
Of course, I always have fun.
What are you doing for Thanksgiving?
I am going to South Carolina.
South Carolina. Can you imagine this in the South?
Where you're from?
No, not at all. But my boy Toy is from there, and he's black, so I'm having mac and cheese. Okay.
All right.
Yeah.
That is our show today. I want to thank everybody. Everybody, please thank Paul for coming hanging out with us. Please thank Christy. Please thank JC. Everybody come up here. Let's take a picture. Come on, y'all know the drill. Get up here. Happy Thanksgiving and happy birthday, Legend Noel.
Thank you, sir.
Get on up here, people. Thank you, Lloyd, Floyd. Thank you, Alana, Love.
Good job.
Get on up here. Get on up here. We're going to be looking at this camera right here.